Hi guys, welcome to another episode of building the modern data stack from scratch. And it's good to be back. And in this session, we're going to be talking about preset cloud as a modern day business intelligence tool for analyzing your data. In the previous episode, we talked about orchestrating the end-to-end flow of the data using Airflow, where we develop Airbyte DAG, DBT DAG, and the Great Expectation DAG for validation. So today we're just going to focus on the BI layer of the architecture. So on my screen is what you like, what the preset cloud looks like, right? So let me take you to the home page of preset. Yeah. So this is preset cloud. This is their landing page, and it's an open source managed Apache Superset for business intelligence. Apache Superset is an open source tool, but preset cloud kind of help you to fully manage it, and you don't have to do any kind of maintenance, right? So you can use Apache Superset as a managed service, fully managed service for building dashboards and creating insights for stakeholders to make business decisions. It's free, and it has a free version of it whereby you can create dashboard for free and invite up to additional 4 users in your team, right? And you have other plans like professional and enterprise, depending on what your company, the size of your company and what your company needs, the use case of your company for this particular scenario. It's based on SQL, unlike other BI layer like Tableau or Power BI. So you connect your data directly to the data warehouse, or probably write SQL in order to develop your dashboard. So it's more like enhances you as an analyst, because majority of analysts knows how to write SQL. So with Apache Superset as this preset cloud, you can easily build from the data warehouse to insight without having to worry about understanding any particular language apart from the SQL you already know. And it's web based. Anywhere in the world that you are, you can just spawn up your laptop, open up the your warehouse, your website, your preset cloud that owns your workspace for your dashboard. And you can just develop, you can view dashboard from there, and nothing's gonna stop you. So having said that, for preset cloud, as I said before, we have the free version. It is free for up to 5 users, right? And some of the limitations of the free version is that all the users in the workspace are going to be admin. So it means that you don't have this role-based access control, and anybody can just go in there and just mess things up because everybody is an admin. So that's one of the limitations of having to use the free version. But let's go a little bit into the different pricing plans. So as I said, you have the starter, which is the free version that you can use forever for up to 5 users, and these are the features that comes with it: unlimited dashboards and charts, no code chart builder, collaborative SQL editor. You can build over 40. You have over 40 visualization types available: chart and dashboard, cache, semantic layer, up to 5 users, one workspace. You can only have one workspace. You can also have access to documentation and tutorials. And then aside that, we have the professional plan. The professional plan is paid and is $20 billed per month per user, billed annually, $25 per user, $25 per user per month billed monthly. But if you want to pay annually, you pay $20 per month. I have the enterprise, which is going to be customized for your company depending on what use case you need it for. So they can give you some certain pricing depending on the size of your company and some other consideration. I can whitelist it for. I think you should be able to whitelist it for your company also. So it comes with a lot of additional perks compared to the normal professional plan. So with that being said, let's just delve into the UI, what it looks like building dashboard on Preset Cloud. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you first of all register and you log in into Preset Cloud. At first, you will not have the workspace. You will not have a workspace. It's going to be empty, right? Then you have to create a workspace. So I have this created like a year ago. So called it Orbit Analytics. You are going to like create your own workspace. When you're registering, you provide your email, probably your company email, provide like a company name. In this case, I'm using Orbit Group. And after you register, you confirm your registration and you log in. You have to create a workspace. So don't forget, because you're using a free version, you have just one single workspace. But then you click your workspace. This is where it takes you to. This is like the normal landing page, right, for your Preset Cloud. So first of all, you have this setup guide whereby you go from creating your workspace, connecting your data, that is setting up connection to your data warehouse, then creating a chart. Definitely you want to build something. You want to create a chart. Then after you've created a chart, you want to then add them to a dashboard. So you create a dashboard, add them to it. Then you can then invite teammates to collaborate on your dashboard or probably view your dashboard. And if you look at below that setup guide, you have recently viewed, where you can see maybe charts or dashboard that was recently viewed. You can easily navigate that. And it also comprises of sample dashboards, more like public dashboards that are accessible generally, that you can just take a look and see some sample dashboard that was created, and you can sample chart also, and you can explore. You can get insight or ideas from what people have already created. So you have a couple of them here. We have video game sales, sales dashboard, Slack dashboard, etc., etc. Let's look at this Slack dashboard. So in this Slack dashboard, you can see a lot of visuals here. You have number of members, Slack members. You have weekly threads, weekly messages per channel. And you can see all these interesting charts that stakeholders can use to make decisions. So you can get ideas from this kind of dashboard to create something similar for your project or whatever you are working on. Alright, having said that, let's just go back a little bit and go through what we have. So if you look at the tabs, as I said, you have popular, you have favorites, you have examples. Favorite is where you see whatever dashboard or chart that you have marked as favorite, so you can see those dashboards in there. And for this section, you can see some filters at the top level. You can filter your dashboard by a particular key. You can filter your dashboard by maybe you're searching for some sample dashboard. You can just type something like Jafu or maybe like sales. You can easily navigate or find the dashboard, and you can search by owner. So if you know the owner of the dashboard, you can just filter by the owner of the dashboard, and some other filter tags like favorite, examples, and then if you look at your far right, you would see dashboard, charts, queries. So at that section, you can just say, okay, maybe I'm looking for dashboard. It's already on default by dashboard. You can click on charts, then you can also click on queries, probably if you have like saved queries. Okay, so having said that, let's look at the section at the far top. Let's just go through those sections there. So the first one we want to talk about is the dashboard section. Under the dashboard section, you see the dashboard you have created. You can see a list of them, and you can filter by name, filter by whether the dashboard is certified, the status of the dashboard, when it was modified, tag, owner, and favorite. And if you look at the top right, you have the dashboard icon. You can decide to create, say you want to create dashboard, you want to import dashboard. Probably you exported a dashboard to your local machine. You can import the dashboard directly into the preset environment. All right, so if you look at box select, for instance, now you can perform different actions. You can select multiple dashboards and set that, okay, I want to delete these dashboards, or I want to export those dashboards. Okay. Okay, so yeah, just to take you back to the workspace here, because everybody has admin access. If you go ahead and delete your workspace, it means everything in your preset cloud account is gone, your dashboard, your charts, and everything, because everybody has admin access. So it's recommended that sometimes you just take regular backups, like exporting your dashboard to your local or to whatever location, maybe S3 or something, to export your dashboard there. So if anything goes wrong, you can easily just come around and import your dashboard into the environment. Okay, so having said that, I think we should go to the next section, which is charts. And in charts, just similar as dashboard, you see the different charts you've created. Box select, just like dashboard, select multiple items. If you want to delete those charts, you want to export it, you can do that. At the top right corner, you can decide to, like, okay, I want to create new chart or something. And you can also filter by different attributes to search for a specific chart. All right, So let's go to data set. So on data set, you have the list of data sets you've created, right? Let's take it back to chart again. Perhaps you can, if you want to edit your chart. So on data set, you have multiple data sets that we have created. You can see the list of data sets you have created. It's either it's physical or it's virtual. If you look at the list of data sets we have here, you can see physical and you can see virtual. An example of virtual data set here is Jaffa customer. The Jaffa customer. So the physical data sets are the data set that you plug in directly from your data warehouse, like you import the table into the preset environment without having to without making any kind of change, right? But the virtual data set are those data sets that you use a select query to generate. You use select query to generate those kind of data sets. That's the only difference. So probably you can just take a look at this. I'll just pick one example from physical and one example for virtual data sets so that we can see what we are talking about. All right, so we're probably going to use the Jaffa OBT here to explain what I meant by physical data set. So if you look at the far right on Jaffa, on the line of Jaffa OBT, you see actions. There is like three icons there. Delete. So this pencil icon, we're just going to click on that to see to put the data set in edit mode and see what's going on in there. So if you look at this, you see the source for this data set. You can see that it's pointing to the database that we are importing data from, the schema and the table. You can see the table itself. So it's the physical table from the Snowflake warehouse itself with no changes done to it. I'm just importing it raw from there. So you have different sections here, metrics, columns, and here you can change some attributes about the columns. Like, okay, maybe I want the column to be filterable, maybe it's a dimension or something. I can decide to make manual change to those attributes here. So you have another section, calculated columns. If you want to create calculated columns, just like the way you will have done in maybe Power BI or Tableau to create calculated columns, you can also do that here. Okay, so metric here is just like, okay, if you have specific metric that you want to calculate, this one is like count star. Like I'm doing like a total, you can do specific metrics also. So let's look at the virtual data set, which is the Jaffa customers here. If you look at this virtual data set now, you can see that you are using select query to generate the data. That's the only difference between physical and virtual. So you can see for virtual, we are importing the table. However, we are writing an SQL query to fetch what we need. So for the last section of what we want to discuss is the SQL section, which has the SQL lab. You have save query and query history, but everything we're going to talk about is from the SQL lab. So if you click SQL lab now, you have this window, and here, okay, let me take it back. So, and here you see to the far left your connection details. You can, if this is not the right connection, you can switch to the connection that you're using. But here what it means is that you can directly write query against your data warehouse and see how your data looks like, or you can use it to like validate whatever your dashboard or your chart is showing. If the numbers are not making sense, you can write some queries here to validate what your chart is showing and to confirm that okay, what it's actually displaying is valid or not valid. And it's from here you also create virtual data set. It's from this environment, from this window, you create your virtual data set. You can see you just write the query and click on save and save data set. Like that, you have, and then you definitely give it a name. So with that, you would have created a virtual data set from the table that you're selecting from. So let's quickly check something. I don't think we've created like a connection to the data warehouse that we are using. So I think we are going to try to do that now. So go to settings there, then we have database connection. You click on it and it should take you to where you are supposed to like create connection to your data warehouse. So here, then you click on the plus icon to the far right, database. This is where you see your connection. Click on the, if you want to create a new connection, click on the plus icon, database there, and it will pop up a new window. Where you select okay which data warehouse you are working with, then you can then insert your credentials accordingly. So since we are using Snowflake, we're going to select Snowflake, and here you put the database name, which is MDS prod in this case. And the connection method is username and password. So if you've changed your connection method to OAuth2, select OAuth2. Username is MDS user. Then I'm going to put the password. For the display name, put the password. For the display name is more like what's the connection name, what you are going to be seeing as the name of the connection. So you can give it any name that you like. It's not a credential information. So I'm going to put MDS Snowflake connection, and on the account, you know how you're going to get your account. We already mentioned that. So let me just put the warehouse, MDS underscore warehouse, and the role, MDS role. I'm going to get the account now and put it there so we can test the connection. Okay, I'll get the account now and paste, and can then test connection. All right, so let's connect. If all the information that we inserted are correct, this connection should be successful. All right, we are connected. So since we are connected, you can just click on finish, or if you want to like create data set from there, you can just click on there, or query data in SQL Lab. You can just click on that, but you're just going to click on finish, and our connection is already showing. That's it at the top level, saying last modified is second ago. So we can then decide to go to SQL Lab and query this data warehouse from our connection. So I'm going to change the database to the connection we just created. So let's refresh it. It's not showing. So I'm just going to refresh the page. All right, so select the new connection we just created, and then you can write query against that data. So let's select math schema. Table, you can select that, but not necessarily. So in the SQL editor, let's just say select star. We select star from dim customers and just limit our results to maybe 10. So select star from dim customers or dim product. Let's use dim product. Limits 5. Then we can probably highlight and run. So if you look at the limits, the default limit in preset is 1000, but you can set it to 10, 100, 10,000 or 100,000. So that would limit your query result to whatever value that you put. All right, so this is what our table looks like. We can query our table, so our connection is good. Okay. So another thing that we will want to mention is talking about dashboards. Let me just click on the sample dashboard I've created, and I can show you a few things. So if you look at this dashboard now, you can see to the left pane. Let me just minimize. The left most part is the filters, where you see your filters, right? And you can see at the middle part where you have your dashboards, where you have your charts and stuff. So I just minimize the filter pane, right, by clicking that arrow, and it gives some more space for the charts in the dashboard to be more visible. So you have different tabs. You have the sales overview tab, you have the exploratory tab. You can switch between tabs, and the way they have been able to do this is by going to the edit dashboard pane. So if you try to do an edit dashboard pane now, you see what I'm trying to show you. And the way customization works in preset, unlike maybe Power BI and the likes, is use of CSS. Use CSS to customize your dashboard. So we are in the edit dashboard mode now. If you see this, the chart section is where you can then select, drag and drop charts into the dashboard section. Right. Then the layout element is how you can arrange. So this is you can see the first one, tabs. This tabs icon is what is being used to organize dashboard into tabs, and you have row, you have column, header and text, etc. etc. The row is I want to arrange my charts in a particular row. The column, I want to arrange my charts in specific column order, which makes your, depending on how you want to style your dashboard, so you have that flexibility. So talking about customizing your dashboard using CSS. So if I click on the three dots to my far right, you will see where we have edit CSS. Now when I click on this edit CSS, that is going to be bring like a pane, and I will just have to paste my CSS code here, and it will customize my dashboard for me, and I just have to close it. Then it will show whatever customization I've already set in my CSS. Put background to the dashboard, add color to the chart, to the background of the chart, etc, etc. So let's just discard these changes. We didn't even make any change. So having said that, that's more like the overview of the preset cloud. That is what we look at. But before we probably round up, you can also share. If you've created your, you can share. You can say maybe copy permanently, or just copy link and invite people. So for the dashboard, you can try to export. I think I mentioned before, you can try to export or probably delete dashboard. But before we probably round up on this episode, let me quickly show you what the different modification of charts that you also have. Or probably also, if you want to invite members, to your workspace, so just from there go to your workspace, then invite members. Then here you can invite by email address. The role is usually admin. So, and the workspace option, it will definitely just show one workspace, because you can only create one workspace, so you can have those one workspace option there. And the workspace role is workspace admin. So for the free version, everybody's an admin. Everybody can do and undo in the workspace. So before we call it a wrap, I'm just going to show you, if shown dashboards, you want to go to chart and see the edit mode of charts and see the customization that we can probably have in charts. So let's click on one chart here. So at the left pane, you see the chart source. You can decide to swap the source or add edit the data set, and you have the columns attached to that data, the metrics, etc, etc. And the middle pane shows where you drag and drop your metrics, your measure, and the dimension and the likes. And the customize pane is where you can then customize your chart. For instance, the bar chart, I can decide to be vertical or horizontal. You have the title and the likes. So that's where your customization happens. Alright. Then you can save and decide to save, or save and add to dashboards. Alright. So I just want to show you how to create data sets. So when you click data set, new data set, you select the connection that you have. Schema, in this case, let's say you are selecting math, and table, let's say we select facts orders. So this is the ideal way of creating a physical data set. So this is just going to load the attributes in the fact orders. Then click on create data set and create chart. So you automatically create the data set and then start giving prompt the window to create charts. So you can then use the new data set that you have created to then start building charts. So that's on creating physical table. And I already explained how to create virtual data sets. So I said you just have to write an SQL and then save the data set. So ideally, if you need to start building dashboards with preset, kind of data that you use are data that are already joined. Unlike Tableau dashboard, I have logical model that you're connected their keys, and you have this logical model, and you can just start building. For presets, you have to write you can create a view that already join those data that you need to use for your build your insight. You write the query that join those tables together as one big table or view. On top of that is what you now use to develop your chart and build your dashboard. So we're just gonna stop there for today. In our next episode, we're going to then develop our first dashboard using Presets Cloud, and probably another episode will have like extra, like a bonus episode talking about extra tips and best practices. All right, so we are going to round up today's session here. Ensure that you like this video, subscribe, and share with your colleagues. And also your friends that might benefit from it. So that will be all for today. Thank you all. See you another time. Bye.